Yeah, and so if you run a scale, forget math, the saying Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, bless this bed I masturbate on. Um, Put the order chronologically, starting with Mark AD 70, and then Luke, Matthew 80 to 85 AD, and then John 95 AD. And you notice this scale of Jesus. So the best way for if a monarch executed an innocent man wrongfully, the best way to avoid the dishonoring of themselves is to worship or elevate the person under consideration, and so because that shows them trying to make a gesture of look, thank you, we appreciate you, and like, no, you didn't. Nailed him to a fucking cross after a kidnap, and you got to think about why, and like you think of things like the grooming of a king back then. You know, these are the ways of a king. Everything was so formality orientated. These are the ways of a queen. A queen should, in this situation, do this, do that. Uh, Opposites attract still factors in to the criminal stories. So, um, a bisexual at a time when the word didn't exist, um, plus the punishments in place for male to male affection, I think would have pressured effeminate the manifestation of more effeminate traits in Christ, uh, hence accounting for his inspiring jealousy and animosity amongst males and being respected by women, um, having earned the respect of women. You gotta think back during hunter-gatherer evolution years. The women would have been the educators and the primary caretakers, uh, even after the tragedy of perhaps meeting their spouse by getting whacked on the back of the head with a club and dragged by the hair into a cave. But they're not given credit by stereotypical mention of recollection of these evolutionary tales as uh, giving them credit for how they would have to have been when left as a primary caretaker of their offspring. Additionally, the educators, supportive educators of the offspring, first before they say, well, now you're ready to go out and hunt and gather. But so yeah, Christ's story is that I think that an innocent man undeserving of death is executed because of what could essentially be sexual jealousy in the back of a king and queen's mind. They see a man with natural prowess, effeminate traits, um, sharing nice ideas. You find his ideas aren't really, then they don't get, they get more, as you get to the Gospels with more miracles, his teachings also sound more like someone who you'd go, oh yeah, yeah, that sort of talk would have gotten someone executed back in those days. So like, but that verbal content being insertion after the fact is pretty much proven. So try an isolated study of the Gospel of Mark, and you'll see like um, humbly trying to approach and respect his community. He uses the term "Son of Man." Um, did not deserve to be put to death, and so they cake this supernatural story, big fish story in the progressive Gospels.